Hi parents, it's Betsy from Easy Peasy, and I wanted to talk to you about transitioning from a crib to either a toddler bed or a mattress, any other kind of bed. So moving from the crib to something without rails where they are closed in, the best time to do that, and some tips on that. So to start out with, it's really dependent on the child and dependent on the parents. And that's what we sometimes forget. We always talk about when the kid is ready. You might have an 18-month-old that has started crawling out of the crib. So it's time because they're no longer, it's no longer safe. So if your kid is already climbing out, then it needs to be done right away for safety, obviously. Otherwise, you can kind of decide when you want to move your kid out of the crib into a different type bed. Some tips. Number one, choose a time that is good for you if the transition doesn't go smoothly. So choose a time when you're going to be home, you're not planning on traveling, your schedule is going to be very routine, you don't have a lot of other stressful stuff going on as parents. Therefore, if things don't go smoothly, you are still set and you're hopefully will be able to handle it better. Okay, so choose a time that works well for the parents. So if you think, oh, we could do it now or we could do it in 3 or 4 months, look at your schedule and see what's going to be less stressful for the adults in this situation, and you could choose that time. The other thing for us, my tips are to, number 2, do it before the child is potty trained. Potty training is a big deal, and it's a very stressful time for parents a lot. Even though we try not to make it, we try to make it no big deal and really work with the kid. It can be very stressful and it's tiring because you're cleaning up a lot of accidents. So if you plan on potty training anytime soon, for us personally, we move out of the crib before potty training and get them adjusted to that before we throw in potty training on top of that. Okay, so what works best for the adults as far as timing. And then secondly, we want to get it done before we start potty training. That's our other goal. And the third one for us has been, we have 2 kids and we've transitioned them out of the crib, both of them before they could start opening doors. So before they can open doors, I put them in a bed. And for the reason that they can get out of bed, and they do, they move around the room. Sometimes they get a stuffed animal or a book, and then they go back and they lay down in their bed. They can't leave the room yet. So we will tackle that when they could open doors and they come out in the living room repeatedly at bedtime for drinks or hugs or whatever. We tackle that later on. So trying to focus on one transition at a time. So that's what we have as one transition of just switching from the crib to a bed. That's all we want to work on right now. So that's why we try and do it before potty training, before they can open the doors. Now, if your child is already able to open doors or you've already started potty training, don't worry too much about it. It really, transitioning from a crib to a bed, honestly, most of the time parents end up being more worried and concerned about how it's going to go, and the kids transition beautifully and it is no problem. So don't get too worked up, just go for it. And so now let's talk about physically changing from a crib to a toddler bed or a twin bed. Really, it's up to you what works for you. If you want to transform your crib into a toddler bed, or get a new toddler bed, or if you want to go straight to a twin or a queen mattress, I recommend the same room in the same place. So if you can, take the crib out and put the bed in the exact same place where the crib was. This is, again, the least changing as possible, the least transitioning for the kid as possible. So if you are planning on moving them in a different bedroom at some point, maybe they have a new sibling or something like that, then go ahead and move the crib into the new bedroom for a couple weeks before you change to the toddler or the full-size bed. All right, so same room, same position, same bedtime routine, no major changes to keep that in the same room. For my son, who is 19 months at this point, we switched my daughter at 21 months, and she went straight to a twin mattress with a bed rail for a few months to make sure she didn't fall out. So my son is going to use this toddler bed here. And they're very excited. My daughter very quickly told me, "This bed is big enough for 2 kids, Mom." So she wanted to get in there as well. Be sure to put the new bed in the same spot if you can as where the crib was, and in the same room. Again, the least changes, the better for the child. Everything that is routine, keep the same bedtime routine. And my last tip is have a backup plan. So if things end up disastrously going wrong, normal bedtime 7 and it's 10 or 11 o'clock and your child isn't going to sleep, and it's just not working, have a backup plan. So we have a little mini cribs. We have it in our spare room. Maybe you have a pack and play that you have ready to put in as a backup. So have a backup plan just in case. Nobody likes to hear their kid cry, and nobody also wants their kid to lose a lot of sleep. So have a backup plan just in case things don't go well the first couple nights, so that you will be ready and you can remain calm, which will help your little one to be calm and transition into his new bed. So good luck, everybody. Bye. Have a great day.